Are we ready? Are we ready? All right, we are ready. This is me, my friends, with Daddy Porter and my esteemed colleague.
Doug Ziegler.
How are you today, Doug?
Dude, I'm pretty good. Sent you pictures of me digging out parts of my garden. I finally finished that project out. That's been a work in progress for a couple of weeks, so I'm tired and need beer. So this is perfect.
Pandemic projects.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, blah, blah. I always stumble over my words, Doug. One day we'll get this. To say that today is a special guest for me is an understatement of the year. I don't even know if I would be here doing this if not for our guest today. And the reason I say that is because he was just when I popped on the scene as a blogger or a beer blogger or that blogger, I wanted to blog or I wanted to talk about beer and all that. This is the first guy that I saw that was black.
Mm-hmm.
And second, man, a finished product. Like what I mean by finished product, I mean it seemed like when I got to see this guy, he was like already doing everything that I wanted to do, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So his name is Ale Sharpton. I first of all, the name alone, man.
Yeah, that is Ale Sharpton. Like, oh man, that's a good name.
I know, man. And people, my Daddy Porter name, some people love it, and with all due respect, Doug, some people just don't like it. Believe it or not.
People that don't like brown water.
Well, that's anywho. So my friend Errol Sharpton, I got to be, I keep it real with everybody. We just met at that Fresh Fest. I had a few words with him, but with all due respect, I was more in awe of the guy, believe it or not, and I'm just keeping it real, than I was, this is my friend. I was just more like, man, that's Ale Sharpton, that's cool. Let me shake his hand. Let me see, make him sure he knows who I am. Mm-hmm. And I was wrong. That's it. Like, it wasn't like a big crush thing, but it kind of was.
So, yeah, it was one of those things. It's like somebody you've looked up to and admired their work, and now you're meeting them. That's big and it's cool, and I'm pretty excited to have him on.
Right. So I need to just shut up and get to it. So Ale Sharpton, he's just not a beer blogger, and I told him he's just not a beer blogger. To me, he's more of a lifestyle. He gets into beer. He talks about autos. He's in travel. He's in food. He's in sports. He's in music. He's in clothing. He's an award-winning journalist. He's on craftbeer.com. He's on so many different things to read. He's on Thrillist. There's just so much there. I don't even think an hour is going to go. An hour is going to be enough. So we're just going to jump right in, and I'm going to introduce you to my friend, my inspiration, Ale Sharpton.
Yo, what's good? What's up, homies? Yeah, I feel like I need to be coming from behind a curtain, man. That was an awesome introduction, my brother. That was really, and I really appreciate all your kind words, and especially you too, Doug, of recognizing what I've been doing, man. This is really an honor to be on your show, man. Definitely.
Yeah. Thanks, Ale. And again, as I said, everything I said was the truth, and I'm just happy that you're here. Ask Doug. When you said yes, he was the first person. I was like, man, I got Ale Sharpton.
All day, anytime, man, anytime. We got to work together. All good.
Absolutely. So, Ale, for those who don't know you, where did it all start for you as far as craft beer? Because craft beer is something that people have to discover. It wasn't just put in your face, or maybe it was, but most people it wasn't. You had to like dig around and find it. So, where did you start?
Well, my first sip was when I was sick. I was told I love telling the story, and that was my uncle gave me first sip of beer, and he thought I'd spit out and say how nasty the shit was, and I was like, no, this is. I said that's what I'm gonna drink when I'm older, and he was like, oh man, you ruined my joke, and that flavor and just how pronounced it was when I tasted it, and I'm Jamaican, so I've tasted a lot of spicy dishes and all kind of craziness. My family are all chefs. But this was something in a liquid form. I was like, yo, and although it was a Miller High Life, it was still totally different from anything else I've had, juice and soda and all that crap. So beer was my thing, and then I'm really into design. In high school, I started really getting into it, thinking I was doing the shit with the lone brow. I used to bring whenever I was drinking white coolers. And then in college, I kind of exposed to more styles of beer, and I really started reading and studying it a little bit more. And then when I moved to Georgia from Cornell, my family moved to Georgia, and we moved to Atlanta. And the law was 6%. So I was like, oh hell no, I'm already in love with this beverage, and this shit is not going down like that. I'm only drinking beer 6% and under, because then that really shows, limited diversity in the beer. And so I helped push kind of the laws a little bit because I was a journalist at the time. And I was really writing about hip hop and doing a lot of other stuff that I was doing, a lot of different magazines. But then I was like, yo, I want to do like a hip hop almost personality, a different personality for beer. And although I was working with a lot of magazines and stuff, I still kind of had to hold my ass tight a little bit. And blogs weren't really popping back then as much. And I said, why not create like a name that people remember? Because I'm about to go hard into this industry. There's hardly any black people in it, number one. But number two, there's not enough hip hop in it. There's not enough freshness in the industry. You know what I mean? And I think it needed an injection of flavor. So loving brands and loving logos, loving style, loving clothing, loving music. I tried to implement all those things. But at first I had to come up with a name. So when I left my full-time gig to go really hardcore into this, I said, let's do it. Go all in. My girlfriend, who's my wife now at the time, was like, yo, I'm with you. So that night I went and had a blunt, and I had some imported, muled in Brooklyn Black Chocolate Stout. I had 2 of them joints. I said, I need something that has people remember. Dennis Malcolm Byron sounds like a law firm. Thank you, Dad, for the name, and thank you for being named after Malcolm X. But I wanted something that would kind of be more of a memorable kind of name. So I said something with beer related and something they know I'm a brother and kind of very passionate about what I'm going to be doing. So Ale Sharpton came to me. I woke up my wife, Andrea, now. I woke her up and it was 2 a.m. in the morning and she's like, okay, whatever. And then she woke up in the morning. I was like, yo, that name is kind of hot. And I just rolled with that. And that was it. Ale Sharpton became it. I started traveling the world and putting stickers. I made stickers. Nobody had stickers. I don't care what anybody says. I was all into it. Like, yo, let me do this thing. Make stickers, make all these different things, have a cool kind of concept I had. And my boy Vince realized it. Me holding up a beer. And that beer was, people ask me all the time, it was Hop Slam. And I was holding it up. And my favorite style of beer is an IPA. And that was it. Had a little game face to it. People call it the Ale Sharpton pose. I'm actually going to pour beer right now. To join the party. And that was it, man. Hit the ground running, and people really looked out. People embraced it. I had to make sure that Al Sharpton knew that I meant nothing in offense to it. It was more of paying homage to like what his passion is for what he does. I'm going to be just as passionate what I do, and it's a catchy name. You know what I mean? So, and with that, man, years passed, decades have passed, and seeing people like you doing this, man, and you giving me props, give me roses while I'm alive is really something I really appreciate y'all do. Oh, yeah, there you go, man. You a bad dude. That's it. Yeah, that was an awesome story within itself. I mean, I've been doing this thing for more than 15 years, but I never got a chance to meet him one-on-one. People have told him about me, and he said, oh, that's cool, but it really would complete the whole cipher if I actually met him one day. And then I woke up with an email, not an email, it was Instagram, 2 messages from 2 different PR firms. And Forbes magazine did an article on me the night before. He read it on a plane. Al Sharpton read it on a plane on the way to Atlanta to have a meeting. And he read that article on the way here. And then he had his PR teams reach out for me. And I just wake up and I say, Al Sharpton would love to meet you. Is that very possible? We really appreciate the article that was on you. Are you possibly busy? I'm like, yeah, I got to make things. I jumped to that so quick. And we met that day. I brought my wife, and my dad with me, and he was super cool. It was awesome. It just full, and he held my sticker up, and he said, "I want to know about you." I was like, "No, I want to know about you." He said, "No, I want to know about you." And we just talked, and we got to the point he doesn't drink, but we got to the point to talk about his diet, yo. Oh my gosh, his diet is it's crazy. Well, first of all, you had to be on one to look the way he does. He looked great, suited and booted, and he was usually a bigger brother back in the day. You know what I mean? So his diet was wheat toast, lightly toasted for breakfast, maybe a juice. For lunch, same thing, no butter, no nothing, and maybe something to go with it. And then at night, he would cheat with a salad or something. I'm like, what? And then, like, he might have a piece of fish every once in a while. I said, with that diet, I'll treat you to dinner or lunch anytime you want. everybody looked at me like, yo, you're crazy, dude. You talking to the Reverend like that. But he made me feel warm and myself, and he laughed. And then that was it, man. And we've been in touch every once in a while since. So it's been really amazing.
That's pretty freaking awesome. Just like that, he read it and decided, I'm going to get a hold of that guy. I mean, if it had been me, I'd have been like, yeah, that's Alex Sharpton, whatever. Like somebody's punking me, that would have been what my first thought was. But
it was crazy, man. It was crazy, man. So
can I ask a question here? You said you moved from Cornell, New York.
I was born in Ithaca, and then my family moved to Shaker Heights, Ohio. They got a whole show about it now on TV. All fires everywhere, small fires everywhere or something.
Yeah,
I'm like,
little fires everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. But I went there, actually went to the high school, and then my family moved to Atlanta when I graduated high school, and I went to Cornell. After Cornell, I went to Atlanta. So I've been in Atlanta since 90.
Yeah, I actually work in Ithaca.
Get out of here.
For real. Now, you said Cornell, I was like, I work like 5 minutes from the campus.
Oh, that's crazy, bro. Yeah. Oh, man. Is it still chilly? Probably like, what, 50? Something like that. What's it like?
Oh, it was like I was out in the yard today, and it was. I don't think it hit 50. It was chilly. Yeah.
Hey, Al, he was shoveling snow on Saturday.
Yeah. No, I didn't shovel any snow. It melted, but it did snow here Saturday.
That's crazy enough, right there. Hey, cheers to you guys, man. I'll do a toast while we're talking.
Cheers.
Yeah, salute, man.
For being on.
I'm already. I'm all excited.
I'm drinking the Halfway Crooks, which is dope new brewery in Atlanta. They're going on a year now, but they was a part of that altogether that I had just written about on my my website, and it's a wonderful initiative. I know you guys know about it, and you can't really see the can that well, but they're doing a killer job, man. And I'm IPA head. This is how I get down, so this is delicious.
So we can write that down for sure. Mm-hmm. Al Sharpton is a hophead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So we got a comment for you, Aaron. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, what's good? How you doing, sis? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's probably hard for you to understand the
impact,
or the effect that you have on people, because a lot of people don't reach out sometimes. And some people just stay in the background and enjoy you, I'm sure. But this doesn't surprise me at all. I'm sure there's more.
Bring it on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Doug, did you have a question you got there?
Well, I was curious about the Cornell thing. The other thing is you had mentioned you were a journalist in Atlanta and you were kind of covering hip hop. Was this before or after like the Atlanta hip hop scene really started taking off with like Outkast and Jermaine Dupri and all those folks?
It was developing, and I came at the right damn time. My first job, and I was a hotelie, was helping be assistant manager of the hottest club in Atlanta at the time, or one of them, and that means a lot because hip hop was starting to brew. And Outkast was just starting to make a name for himself, and I was managing it during the day. It was called Catfish Station. They said you need to come at night. I'm like, okay, because it was a restaurant. Then at night it was a club. Mm-hmm. I went in there and Outkast and Goody Mob, the whole crew. All the people on the table, like, just it was like, what the? Can I cuss in here?
Yes, you may.
What the fuck did I walk into? And then I was there almost every night. All my homies would come in town, but like, yo, you ain't see shit yet. Come here. I still was waiting on the beer to be dope, but you know what I mean. I work it out because I don't really drink a lot of liquor or wine. I'm a total beer head, man. And that's why I do a lot of dinners. But yeah, it was popping. Atlanta was an amazing time to move. While developing 90, and I officially moved here in 94, 95.
Yeah.
I only visited.
That was the prime time, man. You really hit it right when it was coming.
Bananas. I'm in New York. I'm from New York originally, and that will always be in me. But it broadened my knowledge of hip hop. Cleveland was a lot of West Coast at the time. It really established itself as like Bone and them were just coming out. But we were embracing a lot of West Coast. So I was a big hip hop head with Eazy-E and all the crews out there, Above the Law. So it moves on, man. NWA, of course. So it's crazy, man. That's why I love hip hop so much and love writing about it. I had opportunities with Double XL, hiphopsite.com, and a couple other ones. And I just kept going from there. So I kind of fused my style of hip hop with writing about beer from a different perspective, not saying, oh, it smells like a hint of goat hoof and all this shit. I was like, dude. Shit smells like pineapples. You got a little pine in it, like the whole difference. You know what I mean?
You just made my wife chuckle over on the couch, so that was great.
What up, wifey? Happy Mother's Day, possible. Cheers.
Yeah. But this is why I believe you're so influential, and probably more than you believe, is because you're definitely bridging that gap between, the beer culture and our culture, or Black culture, or I'm sorry, not even that. How about hip hop culture? Because Doug is part of hip hop culture, but he's not Black. I would say, actually, if Doug and I took a test on history of hip hop, it would be a really good run, because I'm a hip hop guy. I love it up clearly, but I definitely dabble in. And Doug knows, from our pregame. I'm kind of all over the place, man. I'm in jazz.
Me too. Heavy.
I'm in. Yeah. So I definitely grew up with hip hop, but I absolutely had a time where I wasn't listening as tight as you guys probably were coming up, and then I came back around, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" So that's why I believe you're more of a lifestyle ale than to me you're a lifestyle. And what I mean by that is that, like, I can just look at your website and I get to see across the board kind of where you're at with a lot of things, and lifestyle is a lot of things. Lifestyle is just not, I mean, you can't look at my stuff and see my lifestyle. Sure. I can look at your stuff and see your lifestyle. I can be like, I see what you're eating, and I'm like, stuff? Right. I see what you're drinking. I see what you're listening to. I see what you're driving. I don't know if you want to talk about any of that, how that evolved, because again, I don't see how it could evolve from. I don't see how you started this way. How about that? Like, I don't see you just coming out and be like, I'm going to talk about everything, and this shit's going to be relevant. Whereas, or did you just move into it? How did that work?
I wanted to surround my life with everything I enjoy, and somehow make a way I can make a living off of that. That was my goal in life. I've always wanted to enjoy. I never wanted to. My journey was to be a millionaire, a multimillionaire, a billionaire. It was more just enjoy life and be able to eat, have a good time, and travel is one of my biggest passions. And so I just had to find ways to incorporate it. And no one really kind of gave me. There were lifestyle writers I knew, but they're only in a particular industry. And I kind of wanted to bring them all in. And I'm scatterbrained. I'm a Libra. I'm always all over the place. I have a lot of things I try to balance out. And God bless my wife for sticking with me on that. My Instagram tells a lot about what I do. It's more, I love pictures and photography, and that's my favorite platform to use. My blog was just the first thing I started with, and every once in a while I hit it back and say what's up, but Instagram is my joint. And then Twitter, when I want to get stuff out immediately, and working with you, which is another great platform. But Instagram, I'm proud to show it off as much as possible. That's Real Ale Sharpton. And I incorporate food. I write about food. I love to cook. Again, my family's a lineage of chefs dating back to Marcus Garvey when he's coming over here. My great-grandfather was his chef on that boat, and then set up the first Black-owned catering company in the Bronx. So there's some history there. And then I love to cook, took culinary there. But my mom taught me more than even Cornell did. God bless her. And so food, I had to make sure food was in it. I want right. I want to look good. So every once in a while, dabbing the clothes, but I'm just going to buy clothes anyway. And then I want sneakers, although I'm not real ignorant with it. And I have a couple of watch stalls to make sure I don't get crazy. I'm not like waiting in line for Jordans. I'm more vintage and more classic styles, but shit, that's dope. And then and being presentable. But the cool thing I love about this industry the most and what I do is being around people. And I miss that sincerely. How you came up to me, gave me dap. And how I meet people and how that sister was on here and just say, hey, what's up? And I never want to hear a story that I was a dick. And that's something I would always make sure I'm not. I'm a real person, but I know how it is to really even come up and introduce yourself or say something nice about somebody. And I want to have the same. I've interviewed hundreds of celebrities. Mm-hmm. So I know how I have memories of the ones that were really cool as hell, the ones that were total dicks. Or just not very personable and felt they were all that. And I always remembered as a journalist how I would be if I was to ever be in that situation where I'm being interviewed or being on something, how I would want that person who's talking to me to see me afterwards. So it's not an act. I'm a real dude like this. And I try to be very personal with everybody just because we're all here for a reason. That's to have fun and enjoy life.
Cheers. Well, we got you a new a follower on Instagram.
Yeah, so that's Tony, our buddy Tony.
Yes, Tony.
Word up. Word. All organic follows. I ain't get no robot to do my shit. My people you know, it's all real, man. And this is all real people. Like I had to look, you know, you only let you follow a certain amount of people back. I think it's 7,500 people. So it's like, damn, you know, sometimes you're gonna have to cut it down. But I know every one of the people I'm following to know it's not a waste of time or something that just jumped in there. So it's tough.
Sounds like it. Like I see. Here's the thing. I'm a writer and not very good at photography. So like the Instagram stuff, I kind of just, oh, that's nice. And but I prefer writing. That I prefer to read this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like the thing is like that's really a Facebook thing, and like problem is Facebook's kind of a mess.
Yep. Yeah, Facebook is. Yeah, I haven't been on it in a while. I dipped in and out, but sometimes I just relate what I did on Instagram on there, if it's of relevance. But photography is a big thing. I used to have the big ass camera, switching lenses, and these phones, man, they got me not really necessarily lazy, but just happy, and it's more convenient. And every one of the shots on Instagram is from the phone. Respect to photographers who are still doing that and preserving that art, but these phones is killing it, man. And I've been able to take some dope ass pictures with them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That photography stuff is no joke for cost because those lenses and cameras are not cheap. So,
well, and that and Dale's running around, going to breweries and eating at restaurants, and I don't know. I always lose things. So,
me too.
I would just leave it there and come back. And what brewery did I leave my camera?
I'll be calling breweries like, hey, did you see a black bag? Maybe about $3,000 worth of equipment in it by chance, and you know. So my brother Lamont, God bless him, he just kicks it with me pretty much everywhere I go in Atlanta, and he's very responsible. He's like the responsible brother. I'm the oldest, but he's like the most responsible. And he only have 1 or 2 beers, and I can really get loose, and then he'll be driving, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So with the car thing's real tricky, where I'm only Dennis with the car thing, and I just can't kick at the breweries as much as I can because of being safe, responsible, and preserving the fact that I can review cars. So I don't, mess around with that. I'm very careful.
Yeah.
And I do have to jump off and say though, Al, you were absolutely, without a doubt, extremely approachable. Actually, I was surprised. Not surprised how approachable you were, but it was just you were just easy accessible. You are, again, if that's the way you're trying to be, you got it, bro. Because
it's natural, bro. I don't want to be.
I was putting all kinds of things in my head not to talk. So like I made eye contact with you. You made eye contact with me. Yeah. And I was like, all right, here's my time. How you doing, buddy? You know what I mean? And I just said hello and I got out. I just wanted you to know who I was, and that was it. But I mean, it wasn't like a situation where I was, again, I was only apprehensive because of just what was in my head. It wasn't anything you were doing. So
no, that's real. No, I appreciate that though. But it's a good point, man. I think some people feel themselves a little too much, no matter what the industry is, and it's not necessary. Just you're still gonna shine. It's okay to talk to whoever. It doesn't have to be, another celebrity or whatever you're on or whatever, or just somebody who's doing dope shit too. Just you might, I love that introduction stuff, man. I appreciate you coming to me though, dude, and I hope to build with you more and kick it with you too, D Nice.
Yeah. Doug. I always got Dougie Fresh, so at least that was different. You got D good.
D Nice is good. I like
that.
Yeah. His Instagram stuff has been pretty awesome. I actually do tune in for that kind of stuff. So
see, Doug, I told you he was a lifestyle. He even has nicknames.
Yeah, check that out.
I got a gang of them. They come out more as I drink, so there'll probably be some more before the end of this discussion.
so it kind of brings us up to present times. Actually, I do want to jump in a little bit about where you write. I'll ask that question later. But sure. It brings us up to current times, or let's go to pre-current times, which was where I met you as a Fresh Fest, and I was really, really happy when I saw that you were in attendance there, and then we had that first day synopsis there where you were on a panel with a bunch of other fantastic, wonderful people that I was able to meet, and all of them were approachable. Doug and I talked to Al, 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, from the Brew Collaborative.
Yeah, I think so.
Brew Collaborative. She was on that panel. I don't know if it was with you. There was 2 panels or 1 panel, or it was a whole bunch going on. And I love this. I was really, really happy that you were there because, again, as I said before, you are someone that I want to hear an opinion on. As far as diversity, where we're at. Again, I consider you an OG. I consider you someone who was out there before, everybody was out there. Not anybody, but you know what I'm saying.
Of course.
So I don't know if you want to speak to everybody about how, your experience at Fresh Fest. I scream and holler about Fresh Fest. So they're tired of hearing me talk about it. So I want to hear you. Hopefully I'm bitching about it so much that people are like, no, I gotta go. So I don't know if you want to speak to Fresh Fest a little bit.
Oh yeah. It was an amazing experience. I didn't get to go to the first one. It was a big conflict. I couldn't go. I think I was out of the country for that one, but I I still supported it and put it out there, and helped any way I could to support that. But to be there the second year and be invited not only to be on a symposium, but also pour the beer I made, which was something of an amazing experience. I'm sure we're going to talk about too with New Belgium.
Jump right in if you want.
Oh yeah, it was necessary. It was a festival that kind of helped put to light a lot of Black-owned breweries, and not only it wasn't a Black beer festival. It was a diverse one. And it was one that kind of had collaborations. White-owned breweries brewed with Black breweries. There was some Latinx representation. Mm-hmm. There was some Asian representation. Like it was all over the place, and that's what I love about it. Lesbian and gay and transsexual representation there all day long, actually. As many ways you can see diversity was there, and I think also it was important. And the fact it was in Pittsburgh, shout out to Mike Potter as one of the originators and founders of Fresh Fest. I got to meet people like you guys. You know what I mean? And I think we first met, man, at Symposium, right? Didn't you holler at me right after?
Yeah. We made contact and I said hi, but I really got you after the after. What was it? The after brunch.
Oh, word. Oh, wow. Yeah. That was the last day. Damn. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So it was hospitality driven too. Like you said, the brunch. It was a 3-day kind of extravaganza, if I could, and being on that symposium and hosting it 2 in a row, it was effortless because it was something that was so important to talk about what the industry was, how to start, what's going on now, and I continue to be a part of Fresh Fest. And I talked to Mike Potter today, especially for you, to have any updates. And oddly enough, he is going to have a very big meeting tomorrow. And then I will be letting you guys know along with him what the next plans are. But so far, so good. But he made sure that you all knew that safety is of most importance. Although he really wants to put this thing out, we can't rush anything, y'all, because this is real out here. And unfortunately, we've lost a lot of people. If it was in fact what they said was, but it doesn't matter what it was. We've lost a lot of people. We couldn't even pay our respects properly physically in the physical. So hats off to people who have lost loved ones or whatever. But it's real, and we can't mess around with it. And there's people to kick it with, and things to drink, and having a good time, and music, and listening to different guests, and Nappy Roots, and everybody else, who my boys too are really beer heads, by the way. That's a whole nother story. Representing Atlanta, Nappy Roots are really killing it right now. So it is what it is. We'll find out though. You'll be one of the first to know.
All right, so here's the portion of our show where I might ask questions I may not be getting the answers to, and that's fine. But I want to know how much you can take me into Black Keys. And for people who weren't at Fresh Fest last year, Black Keys was the collaboration beer that Ale Sharpton did with, don't tell me, New Belgium.
Piano Keys.
I'm sorry.
But no, Black Keys is a dope ass group though. I fuck with them. I don't really mess with hip hop. I love hip hop and rock.
Right, and right before the show, I was listening to Alicia Keys, so I got all my keys messed up. But for facts, okay.
That's the only keys, government. That's the only keys he's dealing with.
No, piano keys. It's piano keys.
Yes.
And that's important because I love the before I even drank the beer, I love the beer because I love the idea what piano keys was, which is black and white keys, and you got to play black and white keys in order to get a really good sound out of a piano. It's black and white. It's not just black.
Yeah. So you keep that. Yeah, I love coming up with names.
Yes, I love it. It's a great name, but also though, Doug, it was a stout that I'm telling you, bro, I it's a stout that stopped time. How about that?
Oh man, that means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah, I'm a stout guy, so that's
It was easily, and I'm not just saying it because the ale's here. If you look back on my social media, you'll see that I was screaming and howling about piano keys. I may have been screaming and howling to you about it, Doug. It was just a fantastic beer. So, before I let Ale answer this question, just so everybody knows, when you go to Fresh Fest, part of the allure of Fresh Fest for me is that there's a whole bunch of collaboration beers. So these beers can never. I don't think. I'm not saying you can rarely get them outside of Fresh Fest. There's some distribution, but you got to be at Fresh Fest to pretty much have them all. And these beers were all well made done. There wasn't a bad beer there, and I mean by bad, I mean like even bad recipe. Like it all went. The only beers I didn't like ale were the ones that I like. You know, Doug knows that I bitch about ghosts, so like maybe there was a ghost that I didn't like or something, but like because I didn't like the guava or whatever.
Sure.
But they were all well made beers. So I don't know if you want to first talk about the high quality of beers at this brew fest.
Right.
It was just another level. It wasn't like breweries just bringing beer and like, oh, we're gonna bring our ghosts that Doug brewed like 2 years ago, and we're gonna get rid of that, and then we're gonna get you know how sometimes you show a brewer, top of the line.
Yep.
Two-part question is so with New Belgium, if you can tell me, I don't know if you can or not. How did that recipe come up with and all that? Piano Keys was one of the best beers there, and that says a lot because there were so many damn good ones. So yeah.
No, you killed it because the thing is with the fest, Mike Potter handpicked who was going to be a part in pouring, and he knows his beer. Number one, and also the thing was people want to pour the dopest shit because this stage of exposure is not just for anybody. You're not making beer for novices. You're not making beer totally for people who just, oh, what is a beer? And you got to make it like a specific style so that everybody will like it. You could be very experimental, but at the same time, the people come to this, no joke when it comes to knowledge of beer. So you're on that stage. You better take advantage of it because there are a lot of influencers, a lot of Instagrams, a lot of Twitters, a lot of sharing, and you want to be tight, especially amongst those people there and their reach and audience, because that might be your focal point. So there was no bullshit, is my point with the beer that was poured. With me, New Belgium really wanted to do something to help push and recognize diversity in the industry, and we needed more of that. And so they hit me up. They said there was a long list, but they had me at the top, and I really respect them for saying that. And New Belgium, I mean, is one of the best breweries ever existed, and that's worldwide. And the quality, they know their quality. So when they hit me up, they said, hey, we would love for you to be a consultant and see about maybe doing some type of initiative or something to develop some kind of program. We'd love to come fly you out, and then we could talk about maybe what some ideas you might have. I said, shit. I thought about it and it hit me. I said, if I really want to make a point and something that people remember, it's not going to be, it could be a video, it could be all these different things I had in mind. But the one thing, if New Belgium's inviting me, and this is one of the best breweries in the world, I'm going to make a beer with these motherfuckers. I'm like, yo, I'm coming out there and I presented to them. They were blown. They're like, all right, we're with it. And this is with the CEO and the head of marketing. We're all at this table. They gave me a tour of the beautiful facility. This is the one, by the way, in Colorado. And I told them I did. They're like, wow, okay. So now we got to think about what kind of beer. I said, I already know what kind of beer. They're like, oh. They said, what did you have in mind? And I'm a hophead. We established that. But in this particular case, and I made a beer with Sierra Nevada a few years before that, and that was when they were doing the beer camp, which was an awesome experience. But with New Belgium, I want to do something. I know I'm going to be serving. Some people don't know a lot about beer, possibly. People know a lot about beer, and I wanted to make sure I can get that people in the middle to enjoy it. So doing IPA could be a little weird, especially want the ladies to enjoy it too. People from all likes and people who love something that they could be like, you know what, I mess with that beer. So instead of being very experimental, I said I want to make an imperial stout. That when I sit in bars is very popular, and I don't care what time of the year now. We're very sophisticated palates now. We could have it all throughout the year. As you can see, imperial stouts are everywhere. Anything imperial is everywhere right now. So I have it. I said, okay. They said, okay, what kind of why stouts? I told them that, and I said, second, y'all don't make imperial stouts. They're like, Okay. So the brewer is like happy. They're like, oh, we're about to do some, because they're killing on the sour game and IPAs, but they're like, Imperial Stout, that's fucking true. We might experiment once in a while, but really putting out one, you're right. So I said, and I want it to be dark chocolate and vanilla. So the ebony ivory situation, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, oh man, they're like, that's awesome. I said, I have a chocolate person in Atlanta, so you can see I mapped this all out. And there's a boutique chocolate, and they go and get their chocolate from all over the world, and it's called Chocolato, and they're right up the street, and they have a chocolate spot where I get wifey or whatever some special chocolates. So they were down. They're gonna provide the nibs. So they're like, oh, great. And then I said, I want to keep a hundo. And they said, cool, we're going to get our vanilla beans from Uganda. You get me vanilla beans from the motherland, you know you're keeping 100. So they were just saying, yes, yes, yes. I was like, oh, shit, well, let me keep going. So then they said, the only thing is now a name. I said, I already have a name. They're like, okay, what is the name here? And I'm saying, Piano Keys. Look it up. It's available. They looked it up. They're like, oh my God, it is. They got their law team right on it. They love the name. And then the concept, I love jazz, brother. So when you, Mr. Porter, said you love jazz, that is like, you know, we are at an age where we were exposed to great jazz, soul, funk, and then hip hop, and then all this other new shit that's coming out now. But we're exposed to all these genres in their heyday. So which is really dope. Jazz is one of my favorites. The piano is my favorite instrument. I love Ahmad Jamal, and then like McCoy Tyner, and all these other pianists who I love. So I said Piano Keys, and then I wanted like a blue note kind of feel to it. We came up with this dope A with the glass in it. Doing a lot more with that soon. And then that was it. The style, they landed it with the design team. We went back and forth. This is it. They gave me 3 to look at. We changed it up till it got to this. I love the color playoffs, and we could do a lot of different things with it. And it looks good in black and white. New Belgium landed it. Shout out to Ross and everybody else who helped me make the beer. They flew me up a few times to try it, as well as do other initiatives. And one of my biggest stage was to pour it, not only at Fresh Fest, but also at the best, my favorite beer bars throughout Atlanta, in Asheville, where their other brewery is set up, and in Florida at Hunapoo Fest, which is bananas. So it was crazy, yo. And the only thing I wish we could do is can it so y'all could pop it right now and we can all enjoy it and see how it's aged over the years. But we have another batch that's gonna drop, and it might be a little surprise alongside with it. But a lot of this stuff has hit us up, and it got us crazy. I see Shalonda over here, White. What's up? Piano Keys is dope. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate it. And it's 10%, and I was born in October, so I just said make it 10%. 10th month.
And I'm going to tell you, as Craig, I talk about it a lot. I'm if I could see a good label, if you're going to do good design on the label, then I think you're going to do good beer because you take the time to do a good design. That design is like, it's popping. I love that one.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate
I'd have seen that. I'd have been like, yep, I'm picking that up. And it's an Imperial Stout. Yeah, I'm getting
that. That as a can, like wrapped around, man. I have some visions, yo.
Yeah.
Trust me. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah. That was one of the ones I'm like, I need this in my life after this. I'm not even joking. Again, it wasn't even about you, but I guess it was about you. But
hey, whatever it takes, bro, I'm with it. Yeah, definitely. But shout out to New Belgium for making that a reality.
Yeah.
So my friend Chris Sands signs off on Mike Potter too.
You're here. I hosted him. He came down. He said, "I see what you do in Atlanta, but I want to get full experience myself and kick it with L. Sharpton." I call it the L. Sharpton red carpet treatment. And yo, we didn't get any sleep those 3 days. He stayed with me, and yeah, I showed him off, and I showed off my city. I love the city. So many fantastic world-class beer pubs, brew pubs, bars, the Brick Store, the Porter, the Argosy. Like y'all, I'll give you open invite whenever you're in Atlanta. We're gonna go. We're gonna go hard. I know about 3 days worth, man. I've been slowing down a little bit, but we're gonna kick it. All right, we can go to some breweries. We're gonna have a good time, man. Brew pubs, hop sticks is crazy. From the Earth Awards, this new one called Bo Monk just opens, bananas. Like I said, Halfway Crooks. Yo, I'm telling you, Atlanta. Sorry, I got excited. Yeah, Atlanta's nuts. And then I'm not even talking about the breweries, which are killing it too. I mean,
yeah. We had a couple people from Atlanta on in a row, right, Greg? I'm trying to remember who we had from Atlanta. That was
Owen Ogletree.
Oh, that's my. Oh yeah, I saw the Owen one. That's my dude.
Yeah.
No act on him either. Just a nice. He's a walking encyclopedia, as you all saw, but he is one of the nicest people. And I'm always judging any event he does. I'm a judge, and I'm with some heavy hitters. I'm not saying like world-class judges, but they've always respected what my participation was in it. And I'm talking like Phil Farrell, who's like, he won Beer Drinker of the Year, and he's like one of the only like 5 world-class Grand Poobahs of judging. Like, he's a beast. So Owen Ogletree is a real deal. So yeah, shout out to you having him. And then I saw you have my own girl on there, Stephanie Grant.
Yeah, we had her.
Yeah, we meet up a lot, and anytime I can help her out, we talk about different ideas and journalism. And I love, like, we all got to work together, man, and help each other out. No crabs in the bucket in the beer industry, as far as I'm concerned.
So why don't I keep wanting to call it Black Keys. I love Black Keys though. The piano keys. So we're not, the piano keys is going to be something that we're going to see again.
Yes. But like how Mike is dealing with stuff and all these breweries, we don't know shit yet. What's going to happen? What's going on? But hey, it's going to come out.
You've always said that though. You said it at last Fresh Fest. You're like, as far as I know, we're not done with this, meaning we'll be able to get more. Because again, I only got it at, I don't know, was there any outside distribution besides those places that you had it?
No, it was only in Asheville when we got it into Florida, Tampa.
Okay.
Did a tasting so it's like, gosh, and I wrote so much about it and got so much news, and thank you for everybody who talked about it and gave it props. But we're going to work on that distribution this time around. We have New York on our sites and a lot of other major cities. So it's going to be, I have to have an Ithaca. I mean, that's my hometown. We're going to have to launch it there. Oh, wait. I had a question for you, Doug, real quick, if you don't mind. You guys. What's your brew spot there? You go to North Star? My boy owns that.
North Star? I have not been to North Star.
Check him out. His name is Jed Ashton and Elliot.
North Star. I'll definitely check that out when we get out of this freaking lockdown shit.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I haven't been over to my spot.
They've actually have quite a few breweries open in Ithaca and the surrounding area now. I mean, it's surprisingly how many are available now. But North Star, I have not had a chance to be visit yet. So that will be I'll be first on my list when we get out of this shit.
And what about you, DP? What city are you based or closest
Madison,
to?
Wisconsin.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, I got to kick it in Wisconsin. I've been up top and messing around Door County, hung around there and all kind of stuff. But I haven't kicked it in Milwaukee yet, and I haven't kicked it in Madison. I'm looking forward to that. I know.
I think there's going to have to be a trip up to Madison here at some point.
Oh, I'm with it. If only I knew somebody who lived there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who would that be?
Milwaukee is hot fire, man. Milwaukee is sizzling. So I really hope. So I put this up here. You doing anything special this week?
Right now, being on this, man, this is special right here.
Cheers. But this will be this will normally be a busy time for you for sure.
It is, but I make every day special some damn way. I try to make it happen. I'm starting to go out a little bit to pick up maybe some to-go stuff and all that, but I'm still kind of a little bit hesitant. And bless all the brew pubs and everybody else who's starting to open up. And I'm not saying don't go, but I got to ease my way a little bit into it just because, a lot of people are looking to see who's coming, who's not. And I've been actually not calling, but I get a lot of calls from breweries and brew pubs asking my opinion on when they should open. And I appreciate that. And I'm not naming names, but I'm still, crawl before we walk,
Oh, do you get a lot of curbside stuff there that you can do where you can do like contactless and all that jazz? So at least you can kind of get beers from your breweries down there.
Yeah, I do a lot of liquid research just to make sure I'm on top of the on top of the game to make sure I can give you all the most in tune, on point information about the latest beers coming out. And the only way to do that is I have to taste them. So I'm working on that, guys. But a lot of breweries are making sure that you will know what's popping. And I love I have this one part on Instagram where I show the cans of different stuff, and they're mostly IPAs. I keep it hundo. There are a couple of stouts mixed in, a couple of sours there. I'm not a big sour dude, but they're mixed in there. And you can kind of there we go. Damn, this is dope, dude. You know your shit. So I showcase 9, and these are beers. I love can design, like I said. So it's that, and then actually just being very good. So
Doug,
this
is your time.
Let me just see. I've had 4 of those.
Well,
the porter that you had is from Green Man out of Carolinas. That is an excellent porter.
Really well done. At 6%, you can't ask for much more than that with the complexity they presented. Yes, sir.
Well, Doug, I wanted to see if you were going to get into it with Ale about labels, because I don't know if he knows about your label fixation.
Yeah, I will actually buy beers just based on the label.
yeah. Word. Well, I appreciate
it. It might even be a style that I'm not a fan of, just because I like the art on the bottle or the can. Or if you, as you talk about, like naming things, if you got a really cool name for some reason, that's a good thing for me too. And I will, as long as if you have really shitty artwork, I'm probably not going to pick your beer up, even if it looks like something I would drink.
You know what's crazy though? Some of the names are starting to get a little. I know we're running out of things to trademark and copyright and all the other shit, but this can is dope, by the way. That one, 3 over and in the middle, right next to me, holding up one with a Trump on there. Oh man, that one's nuts.
Which one? To the left of you or to the right of you?
To the right. Where's your marker? Yeah, go to the other side. That one, that one's crazy. That was a gift when I was up in Boston, right before everything really started getting popping. And let me get the exact name of it. It's because obviously we can't get it here, but it has. If you blow it up, you could see how it's like a Trump balloon.
Yeah.
And
I
Baby Dictators. It's called Baby Dictators. I think it's .org or whatever. A guy named Soul Controller did it. Dorchester Brewing put it out. It's called Fab Cans. Yo, fire on that. But I mean, with artwork, yes, I love it. But some of the names, I'm looking for culture vultures too. There are true hip hop heads who are using a lot of our names, but there's some that are just like, look up something online and say, hey, it's a cool name, and not really know the essence of that, especially rapper or whatever. So you know who they are and who are the reals from the fakes. But hopefully some of these rappers are getting paid for it or getting just because it's an interesting phenomenon to do a lot of offsets of or whatever. I've done it, not a vulture type situation, but again with Al and Ale, but that was more of a very beginning, and it's me paying homage to him, and he knew about me from way back in the day. But I love, like, some of the names are really witty. Some are like, I'm surprised to get away with it, and even like crazy ass labels like Against the Grain goes hard.
Man, how many times do we hear about them, Greg? Every time somebody talks about labels, Against the Grain comes up because their stuff is fucking nuts.
They wild though. That brown note, I'm still to this day, how the fuck they get away with that shit?
No.
The brown note is crazy. But
and it's a good beer.
They make great beer. Right. And they work with
that label is like
I love their artwork. I look forward to it. I'm just happy. I want them to keep getting away with it. Anything they do, I'm just like, yes. You know what I mean? There's some really dope artists out there, man, that do amazing things. So, and logos and stuff like that. So I'm looking at my beer collection now. They got all kind of different cool stuff out there. So got to keep embracing them. Those, the artistic freedom. Hopefully we can continue to do some craziness like that, man.
Yep. So Chris Sands, loving your Instagram.
Oh, word. What's up, Chris? Appreciate you, my G.
So then, this young lady here is commenting again. I'm not familiar with her. JPW 1120. I think maybe you are, maybe not. But she's talking about sipping all this together.
So they do amazing collaborations. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, I'm leading you to.
Yeah, we're leading you to it.
I'm leading you to it because that
was alley-oop. Nice.
You wrote about this, right?
Yeah.
You wrote about this.
Doug, are you talking to Doug or me?
No, you.
Yeah. So all together was started in a nutshell. Let me get the number of how many people have been affected with this, though, which is really crazy. But it's like making a brew. Other half was out of Brooklyn. Kind of started. It's ingenious where they kind of have a base IPA, and then they send it to all these breweries and ask them to just do your interpretation. but really like, and they picked the most popular style right now in the brewing industry.
Mhm.
And they have templates for the cans, but they're asking them, hey, with maybe your proceeds or whatever you can do to give back to your local organizations that are helping to take care of people in this industry who need that financial assistance. And they have now, how many people on there? You see it on there? Because I can look right here. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. It's inside my text.
763
Yeah,
breweries, 48 states, and 51 countries.
it's crazy. So that's, and it doesn't even say how much money they've generated because it's hard to get all the money from all the different breweries. But there's an obvious thing of them making a difference in what they're doing. I commend it. So I had to write about it. It's one of my posts I haven't put in a while, and this is one that I had to show off. And congratulations to them. So good stuff. So yeah, thanks for putting out All Together is what it's called. The website, the link is on my website as well. Check it out, y'all. Buy some. So this is one I just had, and then I had one from Wild Heaven, which was fire. And then there's a lot of other Georgia breweries have done it, Scepter and Service and all those that I have access to. But try and give look up your state. If you go on their website, look up the state, and it'll tell what breweries are participating in the state you live in, or country for that matter.
Gotcha. And the proceeds go to COVID-19 research.
More like in my city, people who are helping service industry. This one is a Staple House, which is huge. The Giving Kitchen is one of the biggest in the nation, and they help like workers who are either need assistance if they got hurt on the job. There's other ones called Bottle Share. That's really dope. That's developing. So, and there's one I definitely want to put my hands on when we that have plans on doing, but we had to put it on hold too, with the assistance from New Belgium. So stay tuned for that as well. But it's all about help. A lot of collaborations. I want it to be, if possible, charity driven or something that can help people. And that's what I could use my name the best for.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to that, man.
Thank you. New Belgium gave to this piano keys proceeds went to the Giving Kitchen. And then my sister, Chef Simone Byron, was running a program as well. That was really dope. So you got to make moves, y'all, while we can and while we're living and looking good. Y'all chilling.
Yeah.
Your writing game is fire. Your vlogging is fire.
Man, I got to bring up my clothes game, though, man. I was saying before.
I have a t-shirt dude.
Right. I was like,
nearly as stylish as you.
Right. I think I said to the dog, I was like, man, this guy's dope because again, he's got it all covered. Like he's got again, beer, all that, but this man looks good when he walks around. You gotta bring it up. It's like
represent, baby.
So that's a part of my game I can bring up. And if I do, when I ever do, I'm using you as inspiration, man, because I love the flat hat, love what you normally do. What's this one? You spoke to one of my friends. Let's see here. Where is this? I got all kinds of stuff on you, Ale.
Come on, break it down. Oh yeah! Shout out to Bob Townsend who wrote that. Yeah.
Yes, or Jay Wood too.
Oh, wait, that Jay Woods. Oh, word. Bob Townsend wrote another one. Yeah.
Yeah, word. Jay Wood's good shit. I hung out with him at the Beer Bloggers Conference. Good man. Good.
Jay Wood's a good guy. Good guy.
Yeah. So
I need to branch out myself. I just been doing like the dad blogger stuff. Apparently, I need to go farther out what my comfort zone is there, huh?
Oh, you good?
Yeah, we need to see more writing about Scotch though, but that's another story for another.
Yeah, that's my jam.
Right?
Well, why don't we need to do some vlogs on Scotch, man? We need to educate the people.
I can do that.
Yeah, we do this a lot, man. We do a lot of production during the show.
You're building. Yeah. I love it. it.
Yeah, we're not very scripted, and that's kind of the fun of it for us. So.
We do more production during the show than outside of the show.
Oh man, I'm with you. Hey, remember that one other beer I had? The one that's
So Doug,
I'm still rolling, guys. I'm good.
Doug's got one for you already.
So this is what I ask everybody. I know you're a hophead, but what's a style of beer that you think is underrated that you wish you could see more of?
Beer style?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they invented so many damn ones, dog. I don't think there's anything that.
I know it's hard to choose.
It was hurt to go through all the different IPA versions. I appreciate again the creativity, but some were kind of getting a little outrageous to me.
Wait. Before we'll let you answer Doug's question. So, are you down with the milkshake ideas? Because we've had this
Pumpkin nuts. Awesome.
Anderson Valley came up with this new joint. I'm gonna check them out. So I'm sorry. So yeah, okay, milkshakes. That was actually what I was referring to. I try to avoid dairy as part of my diet. Everybody asks me how I eat too. My diet's pretty strict. Not like Al Sharpton strict, but
no, right.
Not, man.
Yeah. Everyone makes yeah, just I try to avoid dairy as much as possible. I like coconut milk, ice cream in my fridge, and stuff like that. And, lactose, I mean, for people love it, but I think it's starting to die down a little bit. And people took advantage of it while they could, but a toned down IPA and kind of take away from the notes kind of makes it almost like a whole different style without it being IPA. It should just be called milkshake period or something else like that, because I think a lot of the notes of what IPA was originally known for are kind of toned down a little too much. And then hazy's cool. There were some that did hazy's a little weird. A lot of people had a problem with adjuncts to make it hazier and kind of cheating, but everybody's gonna have an opinion of every style of beer that is made. But yeah, that wasn't one of my favorite milkshakes, in my opinion. That's a good call.
So back to Doug's underrated style. Do you have any? The one I like. Oh, I'm sorry, Doug.
I was gonna say, like, I think you mentioned Kolsch's or something you'd like to see more of. Like for me, I like Gosa's. He doesn't. So like I like Gosa's, but I think it's an underrated style. But
I'm more picky than you about Gosa's. How about that?
That's fair.
So that's your wave? Gosa's are your wave? Oh, that's you, Doug, right? What's your
Yeah.
What is yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more of a Berliner Weiss guy.
Okay.
Than a Gosa, and Doug's more of a Gosa than Berliner Weiss. But again,
I like the salt flavors in the because I'm not a sour person either. If I'm going to have a Gosa, I want it tart. I don't want it sour. That makes sense.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. And you can have all my Berliners at my house. I'll just take one little sip and I'll just save them all for you, bro.
Send them over to Greg. Greg's a Berliner Weiss guy. He'll drink all of those.
I got you. This is good, by the way. This is really good. The Funkin' Nuts. Anderson Valley IPA is actually, it's very bright. The notes in there, wow, a lot of different citrus and fruity flavors on it, but it's still got that bitterness you want in IPA. So well done, guys. Thanks, Anderson Valley, for this one.
Yeah, they make a good winter solstice beer.
Mm-hmm.
That is really good.
That purple can, what you want? That purple can. It's like the purple tape.
Yep, exactly.
Word.
All right, Al. So
come on, let's roll. I'm kicking it.
This is a big question. Where does the brewing industry head from here? On Thursday, I am luckily going to be talking to Julia Hers from craftbeer.com.
That's the homie. Tell us what's up. She hit me up the other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it with her because I don't know. I think I don't know if you've ever been to a beer bloggers conference, but one of the things that Julia does at the beer bloggers conference, she's there every year, and she comes out and she gives the quote state. I call it the state of craft beer. She comes out and she just lays out just that. She tells us everything. One of the big things last year was that she was telling us about how seltzers. Actually, it's great because I can talk to you about that. How seltzers are a real thing and they're not going away, and the trends say that they're not going away. And then she just broke down why they're not going away, and she's like, "Look, it doesn't really affect the craft beer industry because of this." And she's just great. So I'll be able to get into the nuts and bolts with her about that.
Yeah.
But so I'm not expecting to grind numbers, but I just want to hear your opinion. As someone who's really close to the Atlanta beer scene, which is by everybody's accounts, one of the best ones or one of the better ones, or it's up and coming, or it's there. What are you feeling and seeing, talking to these brewers about, where we're going to? Again, we got 7,000 breweries still.
Yeah.
I just don't see them all making it. Where are you at with all this?
The hope is there, but my nervous level is starting to rise daily. Because a lot of these smaller breweries are trying to hang on, man. Finding inventive ways to make money. And a lot of the money that they're making is from the support of the community. And I applaud the community for keeping them afloat. Some are being very resourceful, even selling products that maybe they've used for a long time that they find that other people need, and that's helping them. And thank goodness the laws have been a little bit loose to kind of allow them to make money any way they can. Like some have little like general stores in front of their breweries, which is really fun. From the Earth is one of them in Roswell, Georgia, and they kind of like have they're selling gloves and they're selling. And the thing is that people don't realize is that the beer industry is one of the most sterile industries in the world because it has to be very clean and antibacterial. So this is not something new to them. This is a matter of having that flow of people coming in. But if you've been to a brewery and this shit has been messy and a lot of shit on the ground, I can't remember one because it has to, from top to bottom, be spotless, especially let alone making sours and all that, and or a brewery that makes sours and then makes other styles of beer. You can't infect the two. So infection is big, the bacteria. Like breweries are like, oh, we're new to this shit. We're not new to this. We have gloves, we have boots, we have masks. It's real. They scrubbing down. They're the most domestic people in the industry you can imagine. They are scrubbing shit. I don't know what the house look like when they go home because they're probably tired of that shit of scrubbing. But their workspace is sparkling every damn time. Or you're not serious. So I sidetrack. I digress. But I think that we got to look out for the small guys, especially. Some of the big guys have a lot of bank where they're sitting on. They have the luxury. But it's still, they need money too. But the smaller ones, y'all, if you go and buy a 12-pack or something directly from them, I strongly say you do that or get some food if they have a brew pub and they've been doing everything correctly with great food. Like Jekyll just opened up a great food spot and they had one of the best pub like dishes out there. It's called the Light Bowl I eat because it's salmon on top of like on grain. It's like a grain bowl. It's bananas, but I miss it. But they make it still, so every once in a while I'll go and grab it. But these breweries need help. They need our support, and things like All Together have been helping. But you guys look out for those favorite local breweries you went to when this wasn't going on. Go back, support them, and show some love, and give them also encouragement. Don't just buy something. Say, hey, you're gonna make it, work it out. If there's anything I could do to email, tweet, Instagram to help, any specials, let me know, and we can do it. Do whatever you can. But it's gonna be tough. I don't know when this shit is gonna end. I'm really nervous for everybody. People having babies right now, God bless them, and hopefully it's a different lifestyle. But maybe the baby's born or something, they'll know what they're missing.
Pandemic baby.
At the same time, man, it's weird out here. But being in touch with people like you and keeping the beer industry alive, I commend you, and I'm going to do the same. And if there's anything I could do for y'all, let me know. You better stay in touch. But I'm just saying that I'm not closing anything, but I just want to make sure I make that point that you guys are really doing some good stuff, man. I appreciate it.
We appreciate that.
Thanks. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're just trying to have fun. We're trying to highlight people, and we've been talking about diversity today. And Greg, and that
bring it up.
A big point for us is to try to expand the voices that we have on the show. Like you can have a million guys that look like me in the show, but we need other voices in here. And having your voice in here has been exceptionally good for it. So thank you for that.
Send me any link after this. Send me the link, and I'm gonna tweet it out on Instagram, whatever. And we're gonna get let me get a screenshot real quick. Let me see how to work this out and get us chilling.
My freaking glasses, they're glowing,
Oh, right. All right. I'm gonna hook this up. Let's see. Which one is this?
Cheers, man.
All right, cool. Dopeness. Oh, it's good. Got y'all smiling.
Cheers.
I'd have y'all like this.
That's later.
Screen freeze.
That's later.
This one, man. I think this to you, Ale, is this was one from up in by Buffalo.
Oh, what's that one?
It's Thin Man Brewing.
Oh, word. Okay.
Peanut Butter Jenkins.
Yeah. It's Leroy Jenkins' anniversary today.
Oh, yeah. One of the Jenkins brothers.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, that one is very, very peanut buttery, but super smooth. But it's like 11.7%. So.
Wow, gangster. Is that a swirl type thing they got going on, or is that actual?
It's not hard because some of the glare, but like it's
okay. No, I peep it. That's what's up. Yeah.
Jenkins is a series that they make of imperial stouts. This one just happens to be their peanut butter version. So
okay.
You can get Thin Man stuff, maybe I get a bunch of it because I'm in upstate New York, but yeah, I can figure out a way to ship it down your way because they make some excellent beers.
I can't wait to get up there and get that fresh air up there, man. I'm right downtown Atlanta. Got a condo downtown, and it's busy. It's even starting to pop now in Atlanta. Oh, that's a whole other story. Letting a lot more things open up.
You were giving a shit about the 50-degree weather up here. What was the temperature down there today?
Oh, yeah. Bad. I think it was like 70.
That'd be sweaty for me.
I know, right?
Right. Tonight we got a frost warning here.
I got a question for you guys, real quick. I just want to know what the hell is dope that's left to watch, because like I'm watching the Jordan thing. That's dope. I'm a big sports fanatic. The Jordan thing is actually really interesting. You know what I mean? Like the most important, not important, but the most celebrated basketball player, if not athlete ever, is showing how he is. You know what I mean? Or what they're exposing how he was.
And it ain't good, I heard.
I understand though, man. He wanted to win. Some stuff I don't agree with, of course. And some things he could have done, but overall,
sure.
This is awesome. It's like continue to watch that. I miss my part interruption. Although they're sneaking that show in.
They're doing it like remotely sometimes where they have Wilbon and
they got him at 5:30.
Doing it like remotely, and I'm like, that's great.
Yeah, but damn, let a brother know. I just had to like catch up on that. So I missed a couple episodes. Those are my dudes. But what shows y'all watching, man? I finished Ozark and I got my pen here. Like I'm nerding out. Like,
well, I don't know. So we do some of these virtual Zooms, and in there, I try to ask questions or try to keep it like off of like the pandemic and stuff. You know, again, the reason why we're trying to like get together is not to just dwell on this. I mean, we can, and there's some of that. So we asked, Doug and I asked everybody in there, like, what is everybody watching? This is, this is a hot point. So the thing that I got was the
I know what you're gonna say.
Tiger. What is this? Tiger King?
Oh yeah, Tiger King. Tiger.
You see this mess?
I went to high school with a bunch of guys like that. I don't need to watch a show.
Have you seen this mess? L. Sharpton, have you seen this mess?
After the first one, I don't know what everybody was jumping on it so hardcore for, but I went on to Ozark, then I went on to Snowfall's Fire. Dave is crazy. You know the Lil Dicky, Dave. That show's bananas on FX. Crazy. I'm waiting for certain ones to come back though. Fargo was fire. Like if y'all watch that Fargo, that whole series is crazy. So I'm trying to find some dopeness, man. But yeah, that Dave
dopeness, but like not new dopeness.
Okay, hey, what?
Have you ever watched Black Mirror?
Yes, Black Mirror is fire.
That show is friggin' bananas. I love that show, but
some of that stuff is true now.
I know
that shit was in Korea in the street last week.
I know, like, what is that? I will give you a sci-fi one, but it's largely like mostly politics, but it's really fun. Is one called The Expanse.
Okay,
but that's on Amazon Prime. That has like 4 seasons. So
I don't have that. I got to step my game up on that.
I've not watched. I heard Devs is really good on Hulu, but I don't have Hulu.
What's that?
Devs. It's the guy Nick Offerman, who was like on Parks and Rec, was like the cranky old guy on Parks and Rec, is in that, and he has a crazy long haircut in this.
Okay, Devs, DEVS.
DEVS. So like developers, but they're called devs.
Oh, word. Okay, that's real.
Yeah, supposedly that's everybody said that's really strange. So if you like strange stuff, great.
Oh, Black as Fuck is pretty good. Well, Black AF. That's interesting. Yeah. It's kind of a Black thing. Yeah, that's kind of fun. But again, Snowfall's fire, yo, and they're about to come back, but I don't know when it's gonna come out. But Snowfall is dope. I really enjoyed that.
There's another one I watched on Amazon Prime that I thought was super interesting and really different. It was an animated series called Undone. And Undone is basically like the main character is a woman who has a cochlear implant, and I'm partially deaf. So like that was like something that, that's a person that's also partially deaf.
Okay.
You don't see that kind of stuff in a show very often.
Okay.
But it's animated, and Bob Odenkirk, the guy from Better Call Saul, is one of the main characters.
Word. So that's another one.
Yeah, the characters look like the people who are doing their voices.
Oh, word. Okay.
So it's not like it's like a cartoon, but they made it like almost like an animated version of reality. Okay. And it's really good and interesting. So
I got that, and like you said, Better Call Saul is dope. Of course, get all the Breaking Bads, but then you go to Better Call Saul, which is crazy.
yeah,
With this Snowfall, which is by the late John Singleton. It's like Boys in the Hood, but updated, and how the drugs really got into those neighborhoods and expanded from there. Really cool.
So where did you put that on?
Yeah, what's that on?
FX, Hulu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching the Mayans now. It's pretty interesting.
So, yeah, I know maybe I'm wrong, but are you enjoying what's up with these hip hop battles on Instagram? What's going on there?
Word. Oh, those are fun. Not Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley has a verb now. Don't Teddy Riley me like shit is like don't Google up something like Google is like a generic term like Teddy Riley. But yo, he's an icon, and but he paved the way for everybody else to what not to do and get your shit together right beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the Jill Scott one with Erykah Badu was crazy. Again, I'm all about soul, that style, and this sisters really did it where they weren't really like, battling each other. It was more of a respecting each other's stuff. I have one way that's really dope that I saw once. DJ Premier, I'm a big hip hop again. So DJ Premier and Pete Rock were going at it, but this is before this was going on. They did it where they were at a show and they did it in like a club or something, and they played each other's shit. That would be dope if an MC and another MC would play each other's shit, and it would be their interpretation of what their dope shit is. So you can't mess up. I mean, you won't sabotage each other because you know that the other MC is going to want to play whatever your hottest shit is, so they play your hottest shit. Yep. So, it's really fun. This guy was a big Redman fan, and he was on with Redman, and he was playing Redman. He's a producer. He was playing Redman's like stuff. He forgot about Redman. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you played that. He was out on his own shit. But I think that would be another creative way to do it. So we have producers who do the battle, play each other's beats, and just shine and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
The Jill Scott one and Erykah Badu, I missed that, and I'm so mad because my wife and I saw Jill Scott in concert up in Rochester, and that was like, that was just an experience. I don't even know how to explain it. Like spiritual. It was spiritual, is the way. I like that. It was not a contentious thing, but like we saw just a bunch of people coming in and like they're almost like in their church gear, like just all decked out and just
suited and booted.
Had just a blast, and she was amazing. She did 2 hours straight.
Yep.
She can just freaking belt it. That woman can sing her ass off. So
she did a lot with poetry and lyrics too. When that first album came out, she made it cool, but and not sometimes annoying. It gets annoying sometimes when some people do. That's just my opinion. But she did it so chill and musical that it wasn't forced. It was her thing. She was writing lyrics and all that for people all the time, and she finally was like, "Yo, why aren't they putting me out?" And for whatever reasons they weren't, she went and really made that happen. I commend her for that. I miss it. Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I was thinking about that experience.
Concerts. You said concerts. Are they gonna be around? Like, what the hell's going on?
I wonder if they're gonna have to do something like a pay-per-view version of concerts, where like the band's together and they perform, but you pay a fee to go watch them virtually. Until who knows? This is like such a new territory for everybody. Who somebody's going to find a way to make money off of it.
We're going to be creative. Look at this thing we were just talking about. We're going to find a way to be creative, y'all. We're going to make it happen.
Well, I want to jump on something that you said, a couple seems like segments ago about how breweries are. You went on this rant about how breweries are clean, and the dirtiest brewery is cleaner than my house.
Yep.
And these are facts. Another thing about breweries too, I was talking to the lady about, which is breweries are. I just think by just what they are, they're adaptable. They're more adaptable than a lot of businesses. So this is why you could see them quickly doing curbside or quickly. I had my friend Chris Sands on a couple weeks ago, and I was telling him about how Ale Asylum here is one of the bigger ones.
Oh yeah,
how they have curbside, but they're doing online. And Chris is like, I have a guy here. He made this whole online platform for breweries and gave it away. It's called Beer Me. What happened was it ended up being that was what I used to pick up my Ale Asylum I'm drinking one of them now.
I'm very familiar with them, by the way. That's one of our visits for sure.
Oh yeah, oh you're gonna love them. But so the point is that like the brewery industry is they're by definition, in my opinion, you know, expandable and workable and movable, and they got to where they got to be being adaptable. So you could see a lot of them, you know, doing online and curbside and takeout, and there was a Carbon 4, a big one around here. Doing actually, if I wasn't on this thing, I probably would have went to it. They're doing a drive-through pharmacy. No worry, it'll be next week, buddy. It's all good. But they're doing a drive-through service where and they're working with other people, so you can pick up bread, eggs, beer, dinner, and one little drive-through thing, and you can just swipe your card and all that. So like breweries are adaptable, and I think you know, this is my hope, you know, is that a lot of them were just really adaptable, that they can get through this. But obviously some of them were just like, you know, some of them were you know, people have that analogy, you know, how are you doing during quarantine with the wife? I'm doing great, but we were doing great before we came into this. So I'm not sure if when we came into this, if it was rocky, if it was going to. So it's kind of like the same thing with breweries. If they were doing pretty well going in, I would hope that they, you know, at least can make it out. Some of them that were struggling going in are probably going to be one of the first ones to come out. So I'm just really afraid of that. But another thing I'm afraid of too, and I'm going to let you get in here, is I'm afraid of us starting too early, and then these guys opening up, and then this is where they're really going to die, because they're staffing people, brewing beer, trying to act like we're going to come back, and people are afraid. And you know, you're not just the only one who's saying, you know, Georgia can open up whenever they want. I'm not opening up yet, and I'm over here in Wisconsin saying the same thing. I know Doug's over there in New York saying the same thing. I know my grandmother's saying the same thing. I know my mother's saying the same thing. So this is the problem here, is when to open up and all that. And the problem is you know, whether we think your governor or my governor is doing the right thing, this is all unprecedented by everybody. Now, some things are clear that you shouldn't be doing, and some things are like, I don't know what to do here. I'm just concerned that like once we start back up, I think that's when they're really going to fall out, because you know what I mean? Like, you got to staff people, you got to have people in there, and if me and A.L. Sharpton aren't going, and me and A.L. Sharpton are big beer drinkers. We love being in the breweries. We love seeing people. We love talking. We're out there. And if we're not ready to go, I'm afraid about who is.
Yeah, I've actually like make a couple rounds where I would pick up something to go or whatever the case is. I've seen some progressive ways people have been doing it. Like Sweetwater Brewery has been they just had their whole place blowed out. And this is like the biggest independent brewery in Georgia. I think they're like number 12 or something now in the country, 13, whatever. But they had a whole revamp of their area, and then one of them was an awesome beer area, garden place or whatever. And they have a gang of fans, and they've been like killing to try and go there, and they've been doing it very slow. So they had like a podium in the front when I went over there, and the head of marketing was the one managing everything, and his name is Steve. And they were letting people come in like it's like reservations. And I've never seen this shit before, like a brewery having reservations, but it's like, okay, you're checked in because we're only letting this amount of people in, like in control. Right before the stuff really went hard, it was packed all the time. People eating there, kicking it, games, brew. It was a beautiful facility. But now it's like, okay, table for 4. Okay, yeah, I have your name here. You have to wait 15 minutes to make sure, because they have all the spacing and all the stuff. So we got to be inventive. And like, again, we're talking about design and creativity that beer scene has. We'll make it work. And that goes along with the restaurant industry and everybody else. But I'm taking my time. That's just me, because my family wants me to take my time, and how much of a socialite I am. I got to respect the whole household, not just myself. I think my wife has grabbed me a few times like, no, you can't. I don't think that's a good idea. And you got to remember, you got to come home to that woman. You got to come home to your son and be like, okay, yeah. And so, you know, it's got to be sensible. And then people who might be hindered with situations, or might have asthma, or might have other things that might complicate things a little easier, you got to be cognizant of that. So there's different things you got to consider. So as much as the one thing I want to do is give people hugs and daps and have a beer. I got interviewed on Thrillist. There's an article coming out. What my first thing is I want to do. And that was one of the things I want to do, is just be around my people and have a good time. but how safe can we ensure that happens? So we gotta just be careful, man. And keep enjoying beer virtually in your cool glassware and cans, and being on vlogs and all the other stuff. And good luck to everybody who's starting to open up and develop a little bit more of a just a little more of thinking that you can do it. The word escapes me right now, but more of having that the will to open up a spot and invite people in. Hopefully it works out. Just do it slowly, y'all. Don't have blowouts. Don't have bottle shares and crazy shit yet. Chill the fuck out. Relax. Yeah.
Amen on that part, because we've all seen the videos of folks just like kind of wiling out and having like, I'm gonna have 18 people at my house. Yeah, probably not the best idea right now yet, but we'll get there. It's just the thing is like if you're cautious now, it'll be easier, as we go through. So
having the confidence to open it up is what I was saying. But it's and I miss my bottle shares. I miss
me too
having a good time. The half of the beer is about the taste, but it's also about the people around it.
Yes.
So that's the part I miss the most.
Yes, absolutely. So Al, it's been fantastic. We're going to wrap up here. I just want before we go though, I kind of want you to go off on a little riff here about telling people where we can find you. We talked about Twitter, we talked about Instagram, but you write all over the place, and you also have a video series on.
Oh yeah, Cruiser for Rosen, VREWS. It's on Vimeo. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, no, thank you for bringing that up. I'm not shy in front of the camera. A lot of people know that. I've done a lot of things. But yeah, every once in a while I'll put up a video on Vimeo. It's vimeo.com/AL Sharpton. You'll see a lot of stuff I've done before this thing happened. And I have a creative agency called Always Open, spelled with 2 L's, Always Open. And that's I do a lot of things from creative consulting, be it in direction and from can design to swag merchandise to videos being filmed on site on different industries, from cars to breweries to whatever. So I enjoy doing that as well. I stay busy, but I have a few. I don't even know what my last video was because I haven't been able to kick it because it's all about travel. It's also posting stuff. Stupid Dope has showed me a lot of love. A lot of people have been doing videos with me, but I was hot. She was really, all of us were hot right before this thing happened, but it's maintaining that flame, and that's an art and something we're blessed to do, and you guys have been doing, and I continue to do. But there's some fun things in here. Y'all please indulge and check it out. I'm not boring on camera, and breweries love to have me, and different cities love to have me, and I appreciate all of y'all for having me as a feature on there. But again, you guys have done great work. You dug into my crates. You know what I mean? You're digging into crates, looking for stuff I've been doing. That shows a lot of research and care and professionalism. I appreciate you for that. And let's continue. Anything you need from me, I got you.
Don't mistake us with professionalism.
That might not be the best.
No mistake. No mistake. You guys are on it. You let me know when to be on. You asked me. Everything has been seamless, and that's professionalism. So don't hate on yourselves.
Well, thank you. We like to be self-deprecating around here. How about that?
No doubt.
We like you say, you like to keep it real. We like to keep ourselves centered, so that's part of that whole thing. But we actually, I know Doug is going to agree, because Doug does agree when I'm making smart things. But we need that. We should have you back on our Friday show. Our Friday show is less structure. And
it's all about the beer. It's like
it's about drinking and
whatever y'all want.
Now that we know you. Fridays is hard for a lot of beer drinkers, so I'm gonna try right after I get off of this. I'm gonna send you an email about scheduling on Friday, because Fridays are hard. Fridays are easy now during the pandemic because nobody wants to go out. Nobody can go out. But once we open back up, I can't get anybody craft beer on the show on Fridays because everybody's like, "Man, I'm out," and we feel that. So I'm gonna try to book you before.
I'll do whatever my powers do to make that happen, dude.
I'm gonna try to book you. So.
I got you. And Doug, you're a sci-fi animated dude, animation and all that. I want y'all to do some kind of animation clip or some shit. Get all your people. You seem like a resourceful dude. I want some space age animated a show with DP over here. Y'all do some cool like clip or something, dude. I'm telling you right now. Let's get it
Okay.
popping.
Oh man, see, I'm the writer. I'm not the guy that creates shit like that.
You can find the resources, dude.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, this is true. This is true. All right, Mr. Sharpton.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, guys. Much love.
Thank you.
Thank
This was
you.
great. Thanks for being on here. Cheers, dude.
Yep. So we're gonna drop you from here, but if you want to stay from post show, or if you have to go eat, it's all you. Thank you for giving us the time. Thanks for introducing yourself. Thanks for being the man. Cheers.
And breweries keep hope alive, baby.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Man.
Man, that was an hour and 25 minutes. I felt like it was like 10.
Oh, we could probably do another hour and a half, but we have Jim Garolson. We have Jim Garolson in an hour here, and I need to eat dinner. But Earl Sharpton was he was everything I thought he was going to be and more.
We're definitely have to have him back.
Yeah, even more personable than even I knew him to be. I just can't wait to get back out here. Atlanta is on my short list. Atlanta is on my.
Yeah, see, I have relatives in Atlanta, so.
Ooh, I need a weekend there, man. I need 4 solid days.
My relatives are my aunt and uncle who are like in their 70s, so it's not like we can go out and be like kicking it till 4 a.m. and come home.
Well, we got enough. We got Owen, we got his wife, we got Stephanie, we got Earl Sharpton.
Yeah, we got people down there.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a beer scene I know, even though we've had people on it, like I haven't experienced it. That's not something I've experienced. I totally want to experience that,
Yeah, we didn't even ask Earl Sharpton about diversity and what he sees in all this. So when we get him back on the Friday show.
Yep,
we gotta get him on Friday. Because Friday's a hoot. Not that this isn't, but so Doug, we will be back here very soon. We have
in an hour and a half.
Yeah. We got our first brewer ever on this.
This would be freaking cool too. You lined up some freaking killer ass guests this week, man.
I got lucky.
You.
I got lucky. I ain't bullshitting.
Don't give me the luck shit.
Earl Sharpton,
as Ale said, nope, not.
But we've been talking for I would say weeks, and he was we were trying to make the dates though, and I was like next Tuesday, or he was trying to go for following or earlier Tuesday, and I was like I try to do a week out, as you know. So then I scheduled him and I scheduled Julia, and Julia was like, it's craft beer week, that's why I want to schedule this week, and I was like, so it's great. So anyway, I didn't mean to.
Happy accident. So yes.
So I will see you very soon here.
Yes.